Hi, my name is Kazim Adegboyega, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to set up Microsoft 365 MFA, that is multi-factor authentication. One of the ways to secure your identity in the Azure cloud or on Microsoft 365 is through multi-factor authentication. Now, multi-factor authentication is a security system that verifies a user's identity by requesting for multiple credentials. With your Microsoft 365 account, you would have the ability to set up multi-factor authentication for each of your users. So how do we set this up? To set this up, you will need to log into your Microsoft 365 tenant account, and you do that by typing in portal.office.com. Now, what is important here is that you log in with your global administrator account. That is the global administrator account of your Microsoft 365 tenant. Good. Now, because I'm logging with a global administrator account, I have this admin icon show up. So if I were to have logged in with a regular user account, this admin icon wouldn't show up. So I'm going to click on the admin icon now. So as you can see, the admin icon takes us, or it brings us to the Microsoft 365 Admin Center landing page. So from here, I need to access the Active Directory landing page. That's the Active Directory Admin Center landing page. Now that we're in Azure Active Directory Admin Center landing page, I'm going to click on Users from here. So these are the list of users that I have associated with this particular tenant account. So I'm going to select the user or the users that I want to enable for multi-factor authentication. So in this case, I'm going to enable MFA for, how about I do it for this user here, Kazim. So I'm going to click on MFA, multi-factor authentication. So that brings us to the multi-factor authentication page itself. So from here, this is where we turn on MFA for a user. So I'm going to select the user that I want MFA turned on for. In this case, Kazim. So I'll click on select the user. By the way, so you can set up MFA for multiple users, as you can see. So I can set it up for another user if I wish. But in this example, I want to set it up for just that one user. So I'll click on enable multi-factor authentication. And now multi-factor authentication is now been enabled for that user. So the next thing I probably want to do is to ensure that the multi-factor authentication is enforced for this user. So I do so by selecting the user again and clicking on enforce. Good and good. So now the way we test things out, for us to test it out, I'm going to need to close out of here, sign out as this users here, come to portal.office.com. So I'll try to sign in as the Kazim user. That's the user that MFA is turned on for. Type in my password. So as you can see here, it wants me to enter a code that has been sent to my phone. So I'll try to locate my phone and enter the code and verify. So upon this verification, I'm now able to have access to my Office 365 landing page. I can now have access to any of my Microsoft 365 application. By the way, I should let you know that MFA was enabled on this account before this time. So in order for me to show you this demo, so what I did was to turn off MFA for the user and turn it back on for the user. So if it was the first time I'm turning on MFA for this user, we're going to see a screen where we're prompted to choose, to finalize the settings, to complete the MFA setup. So it's going to prompt us to choose between whether you want to use a phone or you want to use a mobile app. So that's the only thing that we missed out on. And I should also include that MFA will not work for applications such as Microsoft Outlook. In order for you to be able to add additional security verification for those kind of application, you will need to do it a little differently. So here is what you will need to do. If, for instance, I want to use additional security verification, MFA, that is with my Microsoft Outlook application, I'll need to do that by clicking here at the top right hand corner where my account is and click on my account. Come to security and privacy. Under security and privacy, I'm going to click on additional security verification. And there's a link here that says create and manage app passwords. So once I click on this, so this is where you create the passwords for your different apps, right? So if I'm trying to create password for my Microsoft Outlook, for instance, application, I'll click on create. Give the application a name, in this case, Outlook. And once I click next, a random password would get created, would be generated for that Outlook application. So you need to be careful here. You need to be sure. You need to ensure that you are noting this password that is being generated. You need to note it down here, because once you click on the close button, you will no longer be able to have access to that password. As you can see here, the password is not showing up anywhere, and there's no place here for you to retrieve the password. So if you've made this mistake, the way around it is for you to delete and recreate the password for the app. So when this is done, it means that with that application, when you launch the application, such as Microsoft Outlook, so it's going to prompt you for your username and password. So you're going to punch in your username, and then the password would be replaced by the password that was generated for you here. This is how to set up Microsoft 365 multi-factor authentication. Thank you for viewing.